What's up, people? This is the same real life superhero costume intro with the same baggy khaki suit with Letterman jacket with tape costume for various reviews, rants, and topics, only this time with a slightly different dance that I wanted to use in the previous one. A slightly different dance and the same theme songs in a different order that I wanted to do in the previous, but then I decided to just do the first version in the first video and the second version with this video. So with that being said, let me get started. Let me quickly make my brand entrance right now.
I'll never let up. Ferocious, I'm fed up. Dismissing the competition. You're hopeless. I'm trash their ambition. Listen, you want a class on tradition or one condition? Forget the best of the century. Talk about the best of all time. You better mention me. Essentially, I'm the best that's ever gonna be. I hold my ground. You never take it from under me. Don't run to me. It's gonna be trouble. I hit you so many times. You see triple or double instead of one of me. I got more heart, more weight to tear you apart. I lay you down early on, or maybe in the later round. It's no different to me. If you cap out, cash out, or simply pass out for free. Cause I'm face down, really, barely alive. Cause I'm an animal inside, hear me? Hopefully you see what I mean. Knock you out, haven't seen. You were beaten by a triple team. Box you out the whole scene and gleam. The limelike's my dream. I shine bright, smash you front to back. You gon' need hindsight. In fact, when I attack, you're lucky if I leave you intact. I'm prone to overkill. I work you over till I steal your motor skills. Sustained whenever I'm done. You're numb, throw the thumb. And most can't remember their name or where they're from. And some speechless, stunned, looking deaf and dumb. You're weak like 7 days. Dead afraid, I'm amazed. Y'all still step up because I hit more men than Jenna Jameson in better days. You can't clear your heads, you with a Jenna Hayes.
Hey everybody, it's time for my real life superhero, good to evil, Space Jam character list from good to evil for the 1996 Space Jam film. Yeah, this is the larger webcam version. Of course, it'll be the same as my narration version, except this will be larger and this will have a different this will have one of the outro themes you saw in the beginning, and this will be with the same real life superhero costume I wore in my Dragon Ball Evolution, and the same instrumental theme will play during the video. That's the Let's Get Ready to Rumble theme. Yeah. So with that being, once again, to see the previous version, the link will be in the description box below. Alright. With that being said, let me start the music and make my grand entrance on camera.
Y'all ready for this?
Alright. Space Jam. Good to evil. Good to evil. Good to evil. Here we go. Space Jam characters, good to evil. Like I said in part 1, number 1 on this list is Michael Jordan, Stan Polak. Number 1 is Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, Stan Polak, and Lola Bunny. They are number 1. They are the most selfless, the most nicest, the most kindest people in the Space Jam film. Stan Polak, they did everything in their power to help each other and to help the team, and were some of the most selfless people. They were some of the most selfless people in the movie. Once again, let's start off with Stan Polak, since we did Michael Jordan, the narration version. Stan Polak, he was instructed by his boss to do everything in his power to make sure Michael Jordan is happy while playing baseball. Stan Polak did everything. He was willing to do anything for Michael Jordan. When he heard Michael Jordan was in Toon World, when he learned Michael Jordan was in Toon World and got there himself, even though Michael Jordan had a baseball game, Michael Jordan convinced Stan that he had to stay behind and help his Looney Tunes friends win a basketball match. Had to help his friends win a basketball match. Michael Jordan, had a basketball match. Stan Polak, even though his friends were cartoon characters, said if it doesn't bother Jordan, it doesn't bother him, and did everything in his power to assist Jordan and the Looney Tunes in winning this game. When he really wouldn't have to. The game, this Toon Squad game, this game between the Toon Squad and the Monstars, it doesn't concern him. His job is to make sure Michael Jordan is happy. But still, even though the Toon Squad game doesn't concern him, he does everything in his power to help Michael Jordan in the Toon Squad. He even wants to get in the game himself. He spies on the Monstars to learn the secret of their power, and gets beat up to relay the information to the Looney Tunes. Then later in the film, when he finally does get in the game, even though he gets clobbered, he ends up scoring the basket. So that's why Stan is one of the gold medals of good in the movie. Next is Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is the most, like I said, Michael Jordan, next to Stan, is the most selfless guy. He's the ultimate family man. He does whatever he can for his family. He motivates his son. He motivates and tries to cheer his son up after a baseball game, even though he had it hard himself. In baseball. He doesn't take it out. On his family. He's still a positive father and family man at home. And then when he gets dragged to Toon World, now he could have said, when he gets dragged all the way to Toon World, he could have said, you know what, the Toon Squad's game with the Monstars, that's their business. That has nothing to do with him. And at first he doesn't want to do it, but when he sees Tweety, who sticks up for him, get smacked around, he decides he decides to help the two squad in the game, in this basketball game. Next, he also number 3. Next, he sets up the battle plans. He scores most of the points. He scores most of the points. He's one of the only people to score in the beginning. He was the most useful. The best basketball player out there. And then during the next, when defeat seemed inevitable, he motivated his team. He motivated the Looney Tunes to beat them. The Looney Tunes, and to give it a shot. And in the second half, led him to a successful second half of a brief second half of the game. And then during the intermission, he put his freedom on the line in order to get the basketball players, to get Swaghammer to put up the basketball players, the Monstars stole up. And had he lost, he would have been taken back to Moron Mountain, taken away from his family and friends, and being forced to be the star attraction for the amusement park at Moron Mountain. So yeah, that makes Michael Jordan. Oh yeah, and then at the end, after it's over, when Swaghammer is bullying the Monstars, who play a great game, even after a great game, who is bullying the Monstars. Jordan reminds the Monstars that they're now bigger, stronger, and Swaghammer. So why does he still listen to him? And yeah. So that's why Michael Jordan, just like Stan Polak, is the gold medal of good. Next is Lola Bunny, who's also number 1 in the gold medal of good. The most selfless one, just like Jordan, the most selfless person, extremely useful. She's one of the only people with basketball experience, and she scores. She's one of the only people to score in the game, and she survived the entire game. And throughout the game, she did everything she could to help her team. She followed orders, no questions asked. So yes, that's why the other gold medals are good. Number 2, Bugs Bunny. Number 2, Bugs Bunny. The fact that he kind of kidnapped Michael Jordan to solve an outside problem puts him at number 2. Puts him at number 2. However, Bugs Bunny, he is the first person in the Nerdlocks who would later become the Monstars encounter, and he is the one to immediately off the bat come up with a plan. When the Monstars want to take the Looney Tunes back to Moron Mountain as slaves, he immediately comes up with a plan to help not only himself but all of his Looney Tunes brothers. When I say his Looney Tunes brothers, even ones like Yosemite Sam, Wile E. Coyote, and many more who over time have tried to hunt and kill him. He immediately comes up with a rule that you got to give them a chance to defend themselves first. And then he comes up with a plan that gives them a chance to defend themselves. And throughout that, he does everything just like the rest guys. He does everything to help his Looney Tunes brothers. He's besides Lola and Jordan, he's the most useful one. He survives the entire game. He sacrifices himself to save Lola Bunny from being squished by Pound, the orange Monstar, and what else? Oh yeah, and Bugs Bunny. Oh yeah. So Bugs Bunny, and he lets the Nerdlocks stay with him in Toon World, even after everything the Nerdlocks put him through when they were the Monstars, put him and his Looney Tunes brothers with. So that earns Bugs Bunny, the silver medal of good in the movie. Silver medal of good in the movie. Number 3 is Porky Pig and the other Looney Tunes. That's Porky Pig, Ballcorn, Leghorn, Barnyard Dog, Tweety, the Road Runner, Beaky the Buzzard, Beaky the Buzzard, Granny, Sniffles the Mouse, and Sniffles the Mouse, yeah. These are all number 3. These are all of these Looney Tunes characters. Well, first let's start with, firstly, before I get started, all of these Looney Tunes characters in this film, in this particular film, like I said, my favorite Looney Tunes storylines. I like them fighting each other in the shorts that made them famous, the original shorts that made them famous, but I like the modern versions better. The Avengers Infinity Gauntlet style, where they're going up against a more powerful, where they all have to team up together to go up against a more powerful threat.
Y'all ready for this?
So yeah, what else? Oh yeah, Michael Jordan. Porky Pig. Porky Pig is he's gonna be first because he's the first to set up the Looney Tunes meeting. And Porky Pig is just the nicest on this list. He would actually be number 1 if it wasn't for his cowardice. And wimpiness. He was not only one of the Looney Tunes who was easily scared of intimidated by the Monstars, but his kindness led to brief uselessness on the on the basketball court, and later he was willing to forfeit, and give up. That's what convinced him of getting the gold and silver medal. Why he's number 3. Number 3. So that being said, he's one of the nicest Looney Tunes characters. He assembles he interrupts the Roadrunner Wile E. Coyote cartoon to assemble the Looney Tunes meeting, and he's the one who comes up with the idea to challenge them to basketball in the first place, and with hope with assistance from the other Looney Tunes, is able to at least score one basket, but gets taken out of the game quickly. Next is Barnyard Dog. Barnyard Dog and Foghorn Leghorn. They will probably be in the gray area if this was the old Looney Tunes cartoons. However, in this movie, they're silent. They do what they're told. They do everything in their power to help their Looney Tunes brothers and sisters. So Looney Tunes brothers and sisters. Barnyard Dog plays and gets injured off screen. Foghorn Leghorn plays while you never see him get scored. Well, you never see him score. He plays and he gets burned by the green one. He also has a brief spot with Pepe Le Pew later. So Foghorn Leghorn. Then you got Tweety. He never scores, but he had that brief karate Kung Fu Mortal Kombat moment when he beat up the Monstars. He was one of the nicest Looney Tunes, and he stood up for and he took up for Michael Jordan when the Monstars were bullying him, and inspired Michael Jordan to finally decide to assist the Looney Tunes in this big game right here. Next, then you got the Roadrunner. You never saw him play, but he did everything. He's been a good guy in every cartoon he's been featured in, and every adaptation he's been featured in. Did everything to assist his Looney Tunes brothers, and played and got injured off screen. My boy Beaky the Buzzard, who would actually be in the gray area, but here he does everything in his power to assist his Looney Tunes brothers and sisters, and he plays and gets injured off screen. He's also one of the people that help stand up when he gets injured and beat up by the Monstars. And like I said, he played and got injured off screen. Happy Beaky the Buzzard made it into Space Jam. Like I said, the Wicked Binge people who I got the idea to do this from, they left him and a lot of people off, but I decided to include them in this list. and that's why they're all number 3. And Granny, yeah, she was just a cheerleader. She was just a cheerleader, but she did everything in her power to support her team. It ended up, and thanks to Daffy, ended up taking one for her team and getting clobbered by the Monstars. And besides Lola, Porky, and Tweety is one of the nicest Looney Tune characters is Granny. So yeah. Number four is Daffy Duck. And Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd. Daffy Duck, let's start off with Daffy Duck. Like I said, with Daffy Duck, like Wicked Ben said, he's a pessimist. He's rude, he's arrogant, he's rude to everyone. But however, what gets him a spot on the good list, he still does everything in his power to help his Looney Tune brothers, friends, and sisters. And he's one of the ones to see that he's one of the only ones besides Bugs, Lola, to survive the entire game. And he had a big spot. He had a big spot in the second half and a big spot at the end, which led to them winning. And he does everything to help his Looney Tune brothers and sisters, even though he is unpopular with the crowd. You saw him coming out and making his way. And it was those incidents and many more that put him at number 4. Then we had Dan Aykroyd. Dan Aykroyd would be higher, but he doesn't really care about the Toon Squad or the Monstars, or he only wants to fulfill his dream of being an NBA star. So he puts his skills to use. However, he does everything in his power to help, and his skills lead to Michael Jordan scoring the finishing basket. His strategies. They use his strategies to lead Michael Jordan scoring the winning basket and winning the game for the Toons. That's why he is here in the number 4 spot. Before we move over to the gray, let me restart the Let's Get Ready to Rumble theme. And number five on the good list before we move over to what's his name? Before we move over to the gray list, one more on the good list, and that's the other basketball players: Sean Bradley, Charles Barkley, Larry Johnson, Muggsy Bogues, and Patrick Ewing. These characters aren't evil, but they're down low. They're down number 5 on the good list, is because while they have a story arc of their own, they're neutral. They're not with they're not with the Toon Squad, nor are they with the Monstars, and they don't interact with either of those teams. And their plot is separate from their story arc is separate from their story. Throughout the film, they're just regular basketball players who tragically lost their talent and are doing everything in their power in the film to get it back and finally get it back at the end. I love these basketball players. That's why they're here on this. That's why they're here on this list. And everyone else would join them, such as Larry Bird. Larry Bird will be here because he's a good-hearted, nice guy, but he's a debt to Stan Polak, which is another reason Dan Aykroyd was number 4. I forgot to mention that. That's another reason Dan Aykroyd. He was an asshole and a dick to Stan Polak earlier in the film. But other than that, that's why them and everyone else will be number 5. The humans who don't interact with the Looney Tunes, same with Michael Jordan's family. Michael Jordan's family would probably be even higher on this list. But yeah, now we get to the gray area. We go over to the gray area. And First, we go from least evil to most evil. First is my boy Taz. Taz would usually, Taz is in the gray area, and probably should have had a spot on the GOAT list, but he's here in the gray area because for most of his career he was an antagonist. He was an antagonist, and he's on the gray area because he's a cannibal. He's a cannibal, but he's in the gray area, not the evil spot, because in the 90s and more modern adaptations, he's more of a protagonist compared to his antagonistic role in the theatrical-based cartoons. And in this film, he does everything in his power to assist his team, and even scores a basket, but he plays and gets injured off screen, and he's one or two is easily intimidated by the Monstars. And when this is up, he will be back to trying to eat people, which is why that's why he has the least spot. Next on the gray list is Yosemite Sam and Elmer Fudd. Like I said, both of these two, for most of their Looney Tunes career, have been antagonists. And while they in this film did everything in their power to help their Looney Tunes brothers, rivals, and sisters, that being said, this was only for this game. As soon as this game was over, they will be back to their old mischievous, evil ways. And they will both be back on hunting and terrorizing Bugs Bunny and doing a bunch of other terrible things. But that being said, they did everything in their power to help their Looney Tunes brothers, rivals, and sisters, and they even scored one basket. And they gave us that awesome Pulp Fiction scene, which is why they're here in the gray. Next, number 3 in the gray area is Wiley. Number 3 in the gray area is Wiley. Marvin Martian. He's in the gray area. I wanted him to play on the team in the film, but he's in the gray area because he's neutral. He's not with the Looney Tunes, but he's not with the Monstars either, and that makes him a perfect referee, as he will call it down the middle. That being said, like William Biggs said, he was a weak referee because he was easily intimidated. He was being smacked around by everyone. He allowed a lot of bad things to happen, including Granny getting squished, and according to all the Wikipedia sites, he got beat up by Bugsy, the purple Monstar, off screen. And Yo Looney Tunes shorts. He was an antagonist himself. So Marvin Martian. 4 is that being said, he does try to call it down the middle, which gets him a 3rd spot, even though he should be higher. 4 is the last on this list, and the top of the gray area goes to Wile E. Coyote and Sylvester. Not the top. Just Wile E. Coyote. Number 4 is Wile E. Coyote, because Wile E. Coyote still put his differences aside. With the Road Runner to assist the Road Runner and his Looney Tunes sisters and brothers in the game. In the game, he even had that brief like with the purple Monstar, where he rigged the goalpost with an explosive, and had that cool smile. His rival with Bugs Bunny at the end. That being said, when this is over, you'll be back to trying to capture and eat Bugs Bunny and the Road Runner. That's why he's here. And number 5 is goes to Sylvester. I was gonna have him and Wile E. Coyote being in the same spot, but Sylvester was shown to be a little bit more evil. While he does everything in his power to help his Looney Tunes brothers and sisters, he still can't get over his obsession with capturing and eating Tweety, and twice throughout the film tries to eat Tweety. First he fantasizes about it, the second time he does try during during the game, and when it's over, he'll be back to his old ways. And his obsession with Tweety, like what you just said, was that hampered the team's chances, that hurt and hampered the team's chances of winning and victory in the Philly. He was more burdened, and that made him more burdened and useful to the team. That being said, he had that one moment where he used the fishing rod to catch Pound shorts. He played and got injured, but that puts him at the top of the gray list. Now we get to the evil. First, we get to go from least to most evil. Number one is the character Blanco. I called him not in my narration review, but it's Blanco, the blue nerd luck and Monstar. He's, while being thuggish and bullying, he's less thuggish and bullying. He's shown to be the nicest of the five Monstars. And nerd lucks. He's the lovable idiot. He's the lovable idiot when Tweety gets hurt. He shows sympathy towards Tweety. He showed being nicer than his That being said, he's in the evil because just like his brothers, and he seems to be that one who's with a bad crowd, but just like his nerd luck brothers and sisters and friends, whatever, just like his nerd luck brothers, he was okay. He did everything his boss said, no questions asked, and was willing to do anything, including stealing Sean Bradley's talent to do it, and didn't want to give it back. So that's what has him on the evil list, but he's at the bottom of the evil list because he's the nicest of the five. Next is the rest of the Monstars. They are more ruthless. They are more thuggish, with Pound being the most thuggish and ruthless. And when they get the power of the Monstars, each of them are brutal. Each of them are more brutal, more thuggish, and more bullying the Looney Tunes and Michael Jordan. And they carried out Swaghammer's orders, no questions asked, and once again were willing to do anything to achieve their task, including stealing the basketball players' talent. Pound shot Yosemite Sam, leaving nothing but dead charcoal skin in an underwear or diaper, something like that. And they all shot Bugs Bunny in the beginning and was willing to take the Looney Tunes back as slaves. And at the end, didn't want to get the talent back. But Blanco and the other four Monstars had that redemption moment when Michael Jordan convinced them to stop listening to their abusive boss. And they put him in that rocket and sent him to the moon. So that's why they have the bronze and silver medals of evil on this list, and the gold medal of evil and the most evil man in the 1996 Space Jam film goes to Swaghammer, as he was non-sympathetic towards his action, was arrogant, violent, rude to everyone, even Marvin Martian, the referee, worked his minions like slaves, was shown numerous times bullying and being abusive to his employees, the nerd lucks, and when it was bet time, he was willing to take Michael Jordan away from his family and friends, all the way back to Moron Mountain so Michael Jordan for all eternity to be their star attraction when he plays games with his customers and always loses. Then towards the end, even after a hard game, he lectured and bullied the Monstars, stepping on the purple one's foot. And even when it was over, he still went against the bet. And still tried, even though the Looney Tunes won fair and square, he still tried to take Michael Jordan and the Looney Tunes back to Moron Mountain until Jordan convinced the Monstars to stop listening to him. So with that being said, Swaghammer is the most evil man in Space Jam. He's the ruthless, shrewd businessman. He's the most evil man in the 1996 Space Jam. Only Algae Rhythm tops him when it comes to Evil, the main antagonist of the 2021 Space Jam film, which I'll do a Good to Evil on that sometime. Sometime in the future when I'm finished the next series of videos. But for now, yeah. So this was my real life superhero Good to Evil Space Jam characters list. You want to see the original YouTube personality, social media narration, accurate version? The link will be in the description box below. If you want to hear the rest of the music, turn the video off right now.
You got him, and you can spot him every Thursday night on TNA. It's like a spotlight, the main events in his DNA. Who you say? It's Kurt Angle, Benito, Settle. Best in the world, only guy in this world with a gold medal. Right, your both ends to the center. Physical to mental, cause he's simply better. They're playing around with no second attempt. Second neck on your back, staring at the ceiling on your back is appealing. Get yourself a match and you can't do that. It's a rap, you trapped in the game, you a rat in the maze. It's the maze how I made my name. My fame is a runaway train on the track. I fight like my life's on the line every night. In fact, that's why I'm gonna take that strap. T-Mobile knows